Hi, I'm Adam K. This next video is a collaboration of what I've videotaped all weekend long at the Prove It Mastermind event in San Diego, California. Maria Emmerich was the author of Keto Adapted and the author of the Ketogenic Cookbook, is going to start off the video. Rob Debore comes on. He's a mastermind. He knows all about the product. He's a research junkie, so he spits it out for you real good. Dr. Andy, she comes on board and explains the health benefits of the ketogenic diet and the ketosis. Keto King hops on. He goes, we're doing high fat, low carbohydrate, and then we're supplementing ketosis in with utilizing carbohydrates for a tool to grow muscle. Bryon Underwood has some clarifying he does for different target markets of this product. Then we have some testimonies. Lisa's a keto addict and Nick Huntington's a prover. Then Rob goes back in to finish off the video and training. Then we have some shots of Keto King and Brian James and La Jolla. And then I finish off with the introduction to supplementketosis.com. So enjoy the video. Thanks, guys.
She's a best-selling author of the cookbook out and a book, Keto Adapted, and then another cookbook. She's going to be a big part of what we're doing. Her and her husband have come on board as some of our professional advisors. Maria is one of those individuals that has helped, I believe, spearhead this movement and bring it into, the general populace. But give a huge round of applause. Stand up and Maria.
So starvation mode. Maria, I'm supposed to eat like 2,000 calories or my body's going into starvation mode, okay? Well, first of all, you can eat more calories, just eat another portion of this food, all right? But if you're not in ketosis, your body starts using your muscle protein for glucose. But if you're in ketosis, that does not happen. You're not in starvation mode. And your calories, you actually start preserving your branched chain amino acids when you're in ketosis. All right, it's a totally different process. Aren't ketones dangerous? A lot of times if you go to the doctor and they're checking your urine and you're producing ketones, they're like, whoa, you're diabetic, let's freak out. If your ketone levels are higher than 10, yes, go to the doctor. You probably have type 1 diabetes, okay? Then it's dangerous, but it's very rare. You usually know there's other signs going on. We want ketones of about 1 to 5, and just like water gives you life, too much can kill you, okay? So ketones are not dangerous. Long-term health. People worry about cholesterol. So, okay, I'm eating a lot of eggs here, Maria. I'm kind of freaking out. I do have high cholesterol. Cholesterol is not the bad guy, all right? Do I sound really Minnesotan or Wisconsin? Just like, it is not the bad guy. It's like the firefighter coming in to help you, and yet we take statin drugs to kill the firefighters, which is totally wrong. Okay, you need to find out where is this inflammation coming from and stop the inflammation to help with the cholesterol. Okay, so the process is inflammation and oxidative stress creates a lesion, and then the cholesterol gets stuck in the lesion, and then plaque starts to form to fix the lesion, and then the plaque continues to grow over time, causing a blockage. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Women often go through menopause or they have a hysterectomy and their cholesterol goes through the roof. You know why that is? Because their ovaries are no longer producing progesterone and estrogen like it should, causing cholesterol to go high. Cholesterol is trying to make these healthy hormones, but it's not going to happen, so it's going to stay elevated. Is that a bad thing? No, it is not. It is not a bad thing. Cholesterol makes the thyroid hormone. A lot of times when the cholesterol is elevated, there's a thyroid issue going on. Adrenal issues could be going on. It makes testosterone, progesterone. What's interesting is when I have a client that's also taking a statin, a male client that's taking a statin, he's usually also using Viagra because his testosterone levels are lower. Okay? Cholesterol, again, not a bad guy. Helps with fertility, women suffering from low progesterone. Like, maybe you wake up too early in the morning, that's a sign of low progesterone.
No, so Prove It was just about being better. I mean, we came up with that, and I wanted to start an apparel line, and it was about motivating and inspiring people. So if you want to be a better dad, prove it. If you want to lose weight, prove it. You know, if you want to run a marathon, hey, how do you get started? Hey, we'll show you, and you just need to prove it. So it was really about that and making, you know, inspiring people, because so many people want to do stuff. You know, they want to accomplish things, and, you know, it's like the old saying, talk is cheap, you know, so go prove it. And this just kind of fell in our lap. And so this was a little bit different for me. I'm just going to speak real quick. I think, you know, they bring up the ex-jock to simplify things. Put it in layman's terms. If I can get it, pretty much anyone can. And so, but really this started 3 years ago for me because my father had what's called type 3 diabetes. And most people don't know what that is. Type 1, your pancreas creates little to no insulin, which is a hormone you need to put sugar into the cells for energy. Type 2, your tissue becomes resistant to insulin. And then type 3, if you go Google it, you'll see Alzheimer's disease. And that's where your brain becomes resistant to insulin. And so there was a book that changed my life called Alzheimer's. What if there's a cure? The Power of Ketones. So none of this had anything to do with performance, weight loss, anything. It was like, how could I get my dad to be like my dad? You know, and here I am. He passed away on Christmas Eve. I'm 3 years late. But I believe beyond a shadow of a doubt, had we had this product, he wouldn't have been able to follow a ketogenic diet, because he wouldn't, if I would have said that, and he always knew more than I did, right? But he would have drank this drink, and I truly believe that. So what I tell people, and I kind of cross-reference this with Peter, because I know enough to be dangerous about this, and I'm a research junkie, but so I try to just keep it simple and generic. And I'll explain how that's important. But I tell people, look, ketones in your body is a good thing. You want ketones as your fuel for your brain. If a little is good, more is better. If ketones in your system is good for 3 or 4 hours, ketones in your system all day is better. There's 2 ways that you can have ketones for fuel. Exogenously, outside the body, with a scoop of powder, shaker cup mix, or endogenously. Several days, dietary restrictions, very difficult to follow, hard diet to follow. But those are 2 proven ways to elevate blood ketone levels. Well, everybody can use one of those 2 and or both mechanisms to fuel their brain. So if you've got someone that, you know, you're just beginning introducing this, that's all I really tell them. You're going to hear me at the end talk about this 5-minute phone call, but really there's 2 things that I'll talk about, and it's just super simple action steps. So when you leave here, what do I do? And it'll take literally just a few minutes. But I have a question and a command that I ask everyone, and it just kind of opens the door. The question is 5 simple words. Do you have 5 minutes? And most people will say yes, or, you know, they'll end up giving you 5 minutes. Maybe not right now, call me later, whatever. And then the command is, tell me 2 or 3 ways you want to be better. I might, depending on the person, tell me a couple ways you would physically want to be better. And it just opens up the door, because exogenously, with our product, they'll be better in some way, shape, or form, right? Endogenously, with our product, they'll be better some way, shape, or form. So really it encompasses everybody at every level. And I think that's what's important to me. So, you know, everyone, you know, talks about the education. I think it's important that we pour that in, you know, pour into learning more. And, you know, that's why we want to be brief, you know, us guys that are the marketers. I mean, that's what I am. I'm a marketer. I just like to message stuff so it's different. And I'm not real good all the time. But so I get this text this morning. Well, number one, you heard about Gene's dad. I mean, he's a 75-year-old man that started taking this. He's type 2 diabetic, stuck himself every single day, and for the last, I don't know, 30 days, 42 days, whatever it is, he has not used any insulin. I mean, you don't understand what that means to that man's life unless you have type 2 diabetes or know someone that does. I mean, you see big old 300-pound Gene, but he cried when he was on vacation because he saw his dad swimming. Like, stories like that, I don't care how it works, really. I just know ketones are good. More is better. There's 2 ways to get them. You'll learn the science and all the, all the education stuff from people that are much smarter than us. But if we keep it that simple, so I get this morning, oh my gosh, or he says OMG, and this is an older gentleman. He put OMG. I'm down 35.6 pounds in 2 months, sleeping great, losing inches everywhere, great energy all day, don't feel sleepy mid-afternoon anymore, more alertness, less fatigue when working on computer late at night, no water pills, and the best 2 things, pain level in my ankle and leg 98% gone, and my blood sugar 80 to 100 points lower. This morning blood sugar 116 versus 180 to 220 2 months ago. God is great, prove it is wonderful, God bless, Ken. I didn't tell him how to do it, or I didn't even mention ketogenic diet. I just talked about ketones. Just ketones. They're a good fuel source. And it's all because I learned that. I didn't know anything about the ketogenic diet. I just learned what ketones were doing, what they could do as a, how they could help my dad. And so I think what you're going to hear from people like Peter, it's just, y'all, we've got some special people involved, because a lot of people in the ketogenic community, they're like CrossFitters. They're very passionate about what they believe, to the point where people call them cult-like, and that's a great thing, be cult-like about fitness and getting better. But very seldom will you find someone that is that passionate.
Oh, thanks so much. That was a wonderful welcome. I see some familiar faces, some people I met yesterday, some new faces as well, which is wonderful. So, Bryon, thanks so much for that introduction. I can go by Dr. Andy. It's much easier, so you don't have to worry about the Andra. So Dr. Andy is good. I'll try and throw an A in here at some point as well, just to bring Canada here, just to show our presence. And so, as Bryon said, I'm really here to help you. I have a practice up in Canada, up in Toronto, and I've been practicing for a while now. And this is really what my background is. So everyone obviously gets their full medical intake. I do a lot of supplementation, but everybody gets those dietary changes. So I've been doing paleo, keto diets for years. And the benefits you see are just unbelievable. I mean, you heard Maria talking about it as well. It's just incredible what you see when you get somebody into that ketogenic state on the ketogenic diet. But now the beauty of it is Keto OS is you don't have to be that extreme. So what I want to do is just tell you how you use Keto OS, answer your questions, just educate you in a way that's easy for you to understand, implement into your busy lifestyle. Abigail touched on that as well. We're busy. We don't all have time to go to those far extremes. So how can we use this to the optimal benefit to improve our health? And so I've been doing this personally for years as well. So Keto OS is one of my favorite things now, because it does allow you to make a few different allowances in your lifestyle. So what I wanted to do today is just answer your questions. Questions on Keto OS, on ketones, how it can help you, any of those basic questions. Are there health conditions it can help you with? And then I can go into the whole spectrum of things, because obviously with my patients I work a lot in autoimmune disease, a lot of digestive conditions, I see that a lot, specifically hormonal balance. I do a lot of hormonal regulation, thyroid, a lot of women's health, and doing a lot of bioidentical hormones and things like that. But really it all comes down to metabolic balance, and then diet and lifestyle, what you're putting in your body, what you can take to really optimize your health. So I'm just here to help you any way I can. You might have heard me on some of the calls answering your questions, so I just want to take questions from you. All ketones are a breakdown product of fat. So your body does this naturally already. Your body breaks down fat, and as it breaks it down, it produces these little molecules called ketones. So that's all they are. So our body already has them. They know how to use them when we're born. Babies are already in ketosis, so it's something that it's a process that happens naturally in the body. So those are they're very, very safe. It's a natural process, our body makes that naturally, which brings us then to Keto OS. So this is the first time that we have a technology where you can now actually supplement to get those ketones. So as Maria was talking about, we talk about being in ketosis. So being in ketosis means you're transitioning your body from using sugar as a fuel to fat as a source of fuel. So you want your body to start using those ketones to get it moving instead of using that sugar. So that's what you're doing. You're trying to change the way your body is working and really change the way it's been working all along from all of the fad diets and the low fat, no fat phase. We want to throw that out and switch our body over to really making use of those fats. And so Maria was talking about the ratio of the fats in your diet, of the fat, the protein, and the carbs. It is very tough to follow that diet. It's hard to make sure that you've got the right ratio. As she was mentioning, you can eat a banana, it's going to take you out of ketosis. So the beauty of Keto OS is that you can now take a supplement to give your body those ketones so you can experience the benefit of ketones without having to go to such an extreme. It'll be even better if you do start following a carbohydrate restricted diet. You'll maximize and double, quadruple the effect of the product, but you can still get the benefit from it just from taking the supplements. So then that brings us into the safety of Keto OS. So is it safe? Yes. It's something our bodies make naturally anyway. If you're an athlete, you probably are worked out or been in a phase where you haven't eaten for an extended period of time, you've probably been in ketosis at some point anyway. So people have come in and out of it. Most people might not with the high sugar diets, but most of us have been in that at some phase. It's very, very safe to have ketones in the body. If we have too many, they just go out with the urine. So they're not going to get stored. Your body's not going to hold on to them, so it's very hard to overdose. And then I get a lot of the questions too about can you take it if you're pregnant or breastfeeding. So the only thing I say on that is that ketones are already exist in babies are generally in ketosis, and ketones already exist in breast milk. So obviously always consult with your doctor, but it's a very, very safe product. Very safe. So the only side effect that some people might see is a little bit of digestive upset when they first start. Just as your body's kind of getting used to the ketones, getting used to the supplement. So I generally say start at a lower dose and then increase from there, and that side effect should go away for you. So, and then the other thing Bryon mentioned was ketoacidosis. Is anyone familiar with that? Has anyone heard that objection? Yes? So what is ketoacidosis? So Maria touched on it briefly where she said that type 1 diabetics probably are not people who want to be on the ketogenic diet. So ketoacidosis is something that happens in people who have type 1 diabetes or very uncontrolled type 2 diabetes. Because what happens is she talked a lot about insulin. So insulin is kind of a carrier to get sugar out of your blood into the cells. So when we eat sugar, insulin kind of comes in and says, all right, let's latch on and pull it out of the bloodstream. So when you're a type 1 diabetic, your insulin's not working. So you eat your sugar, you get all that blood sugar in, and the insulin's not working, so you're not getting the glucose into the cells. So your body thinks it's starving, starts breaking down fat and making ketones. So you have this really bad imbalanced system where all of a sudden you're getting tons of insulin, tons of blood sugar, glucose, and tons of ketones. And the ketones also need to be regulated with the insulin. So they all work together. So you end up in this system where everything is sort of out of whack, out of balance, really high. So that's why if you're a type 1 diabetic, you don't want to take ketones, because if it's not controlled, you could get a situation where it's higher than it should be. If you have any insulin in your body that works, that cannot happen. It's impossible, physiologically impossible for that to happen if you're not a type 1 diabetic with uncontrolled diabetes, or if you're really, really late stage type 2. So it's almost impossible. As long as you've got insulin, that signaling system will happen. You're going to get the blood sugar out of your system, and you'll never reach a state where those ketone levels are too high. It's impossible. And the interesting thing about Keto OS is that one of the primary benefits of it is that it helps to manage and balance your blood sugar levels and improve insulin sensitivity. So it's actually a wonderful thing for people to take who are pre-diabetic or diabetic.
He's also the man cook. So he has a lot of big followings online. He's a great educator. He's passionate about this. You're going to hear some of his passion. And so if you guys would, please give a huge round of applause. Came all the way from Australia to be here as well this weekend, Mr. Peter Andros.
Are you kidding?
Wait
Can you all understand me? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. Keto King. If you can't understand me, just wave me down. But we don't say out. I heard you say out. Yeah. Out. The Canada accent. Okay, this is me. Taken 4 days ago. So I'm not one of these people that take photos 7 years ago and then post them online. You used to do that being a car burner. You know that because when I was a car burner, I used to get someone ring me up and say, let's do a photo shoot. And I'd have to say, no, give me at least 4 weeks, right? Keto, you don't need 4 weeks. You wake up and you're there every day, right? That's the dream, right? Who cares if you go on stage and you look good for 5 minutes, right? Who cares? And then you're fat the next 6 months. You want to get up, feel great, and look good, right? Okay. Now let's start. So, I'm going to go through a few topics. My journey into keto and how I got there. Experimenting with carbohydrates. I'm unlike a lot of keto people. If you're sitting in this room, you're open-minded, right? And you are all leaders because you were sitting here today. Why would you jump over to keto and then close the door on carbohydrates? That's not very open-minded, is it? For people that were open-minded, they just became very closed-minded. So let's not do that. And I'm going to talk to you how to use carbohydrates. Here we go. Does keto, like many keto experts suggest, mean you can eat all the fats in the world? Calories don't count. Absolutely not. Calories count. A lot of keto people that are still large are claiming calories don't count, but they're still large. Right? So if I'm getting someone on stage, prepping them up for stage, do I say, and they say, Pete, what's my diet? Keto. Just eat all the calories you want. No. Right? We change their diet to meet their requirements. And then I'll show you how to do this, and I'll show what I want you to do today is leave here with some information. I don't want to speak. I want you to leave here. I'm going to give you some information so you actually start tomorrow. So what a typical day looks like getting started with keto. How to integrate low carb into your training. Any people train here?
Muscle.
Right? Everyone. Okay, cool. All right. So how I got started was 5 years ago. We used to have a big bodybuilding kind of community, and we all used to go to these restaurants. And I remember one of Australia's best bodybuilders, Frank Toff, he used to take chicken breast to my restaurant. And he used to ask for salad, and he used to ask just for the leaves. He didn't want oil on it, because oil is fats, right? So heaven forbid you put any oil on it. So this is how extreme we used to be. So when Alex DeFino at Barbecue started talking about this keto and fats, I'm trying this keto thing, these fats, and I'm going to get lean. And I'm like, we're all looking at him thinking, you're an idiot. It's how are you going to get lean eating fat? That's what we've been told, right? Okay. So I'm always open-minded, and I always want to think outside the square. So when I left, I was thinking, and of course 5 years ago you Googled it and nothing came up. There was nothing on keto. Today you got very lucky. We've kind of paved this information. So you're looking at keto right now and you can get a lot of information. So I started it and thought, let's have a go. What I did at the start is I was adding a little bit too much protein. So I was getting gluconeogenesis. And for that reason I wasn't burning any ketones. However, there's alarming statistics that at least 80% of people that think they're in ketosis are actually not. So if you've ever heard of any, you're going to hear this. I tried that diet and it didn't work for me. Did they do ketosis? They probably didn't. So you're going to hear that a lot because you guys are going to be talking to a lot of people if you're going to sell this great product. And this is when someone says, I did keto and it didn't work, you're going to have to turn around and say, you didn't do keto. You think you did. You actually didn't. Right, one of the major reasons is the gluconeogenesis with the protein being too high. Now, don't get scared about protein being too high, because you're going to think what I say next is very high. I take 240 grams of protein a day. What? Everyone is individual. This is why I don't like when people put up 70%, 70, 25, 5. It's all silly. It's not relevant to you. Gene, do you think he can survive on 100 grams of protein? I think his left arm needs 100 grams. So what we're going to do is, I've got a calculator here. It's not mine. Has anyone used a keto anklet calculator? Right. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to write these down when I get to it, so you can go home and every single one of you can get your macros today. Okay? Yeah, we can't just talk here. We've got to put things into action. Right? And it starts tomorrow. And I'm going to make you start tomorrow. And you're going to have some lemon in water. I know that's... We're getting very extreme if we can't have a little bit of lemon in water, but anyway. Right, so everyone that's done the usual diet to lose weight has done this, right? Probably cooked it, I hope. But or you wouldn't be here with chicken. White rice. Why white rice for me? And this is, again, why everyone is different. For me, the only way to see what foods do to you, really, is to be extremely lean. If anyone's been extremely lean, they can test every food, because what actually happens is the eye doesn't lie, right? So if you're really lean and you have abs, and say for instance I eat 100 grams of brown rice, I used to wake up in the morning, brown rice, which everyone thinks is really healthy. I used to wake up and I could physically see with the eye that I have to put on some water. If I had long grain basmati rice, I'd wake up and I'd be dry. Hey, experts say that's wrong, right? Huh. So remember, everyone uses fats different as well. Different types of fats, and I'm going to go into different types of fats, because you can't just do what some of the keto people are saying when you want to drop calories. Eat all the bacon you want, put all the cream on food you want. Everyone's heard that? You've heard that, right? You're nodding, so you've heard it. It doesn't work like that. If I want to rip down, if you want to live day to day keto, yes, that's fine, and you look good, you feel great. If you want to start dropping the pounds, kilos, you're gonna have to start using more oils for fats. I mean, I call it a cleaner fats. So oils, nuts, them kind of fats. And typical keto doesn't mean throwing cream on bacon. Keto can be some broccoli with olive oil on top of it. Hey, everyone thinks it's got to be so fatty, and that's why a lot of people are coming. I've had over 1,000 emails in the last 6 months with people just writing, I can't lose any weight. Well, one, they don't carb reload, so I'll get into that. If you don't carb reload, you're gonna hit a point where it's gonna stop working. It really is, and there's reasons, there's hormone reasons why, but I'll get into that. So I've just talked about why fats. I'm talking about macros right now. No, right? This does not happen. Here we go. Type into Google the anklet keto calculator. So this is how everyone's going to get their individual macros in 5 minutes. So it's going to ask you some data, just call it ghrelin, which is the hunger hormone. Carbohydrates will make you want to eat all day. See, if you're eating carbohydrates in the morning, you're going to want to eat all day, right? Because you've already just spiked your insulin. Your ghrelins going crazy now. If you don't eat carbohydrates in the morning, you're not going to spike down. You're giving yourself a chance to lose weight. So in the morning, we have no carbs, because carbs, thousands of studies that suggest carbs will stop or inhibit up to 50% your IGF-1 spike. We don't want to inhibit that. Insulin growth factor, we want to grow, right? We want to put on some muscle. So why would we want to be halving it in the morning? So we won't be having carbs in the morning. So get up in the morning, get a cup cold water from the fridge if you can. Put some lemon in the cold water. Because lemon actually is proven to reduce yeah, you're nodding, you know. Proven to reduce your blood sugar level. What happens when you reduce your blood sugar level? Contrary to other beliefs. Now, it also will start your metabolic system. And then after you do that, another thing you put in there is called sorghum cinnamon. You can put anyone cinnamon, but sorghum with an S. Sorghum cinnamon, if you can find.
Can you speak English, please?
Have you used it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Saigon cinnamon stabilizes insulin and increases sensitivity to the cells so you can absorb sugar.
Mike, all right. Do you know when I really liked Keto OS, and I told this story the other day. I had Keto OS, and the first day was okay. The second day was pretty good. The third day was getting better. By day 4, I went, wow, yeah, I can actually feel it. I'm walking a lot longer. The energy took day 4 for me to really get some energy off it. And when I really felt I really liked Keto OS is when I didn't have it. Yeah, you didn't know how good it was until you lost it.
I lost it.
Yeah, so I thought it wasn't doing much. I thought it was doing good, but not great. I was like a heroin junkie like the next day. I felt bad. And I think I rang Abigail that day, and I said, Abigail, where's my keto? She's like, I sent you one. Already done. So man, I'll have to say when I lost it.
It's very simple for someone to understand. And so this is kind of a guideline that we think is very understandable in terms of when you talk about keto and you're talking about matching lifestyles. You know, if someone has metabolic damage, and metabolic damage, I didn't even know what that term meant. Like, well, what's that mean? That sounds scary. But most people in the U.S. that are over the age of 30 have it, right? And it's, you know, your adrenals are burned out because you stay up too late, you drink too much caffeine. You're literally operating like off of will or desire, and you're just, you know, you're just pushing yourself to get through the day. Can anyone relate to that? Yes or no?
Oh, yeah.
That's metabolic damage. I mean, that's one side of it, right? And so, you know, everyone is different. So, you know, caffeine burns out your adrenals. But, you know, there's some people that they don't have metabolic damage. They don't have that adrenal. So caffeine's not going to, but so going into ketosis where your body's using its own fats to burn its ketones, to get there is very hard for some people, and that's kind of what Mariah was talking about. If someone wants to go to the extreme and they want to live that lifestyle, well, they have to take all these things into account. And so, you know, just like dairy, some people are fine with eating dairy. They can process it, they can get into ketosis fine. Other people, you know, dairy has histamine in it, so it creates inflammation, right? Dairy also has hidden carbs in it, so it could throw someone out. And so, you know, what we're wanting to do right now is give everyone a snapshot of different applications. And so, like, one of the things that Peter's doing is, you know, obviously, if you look at him, his focus is number one, how can I maintain, build muscle, build performance, and then also for people that don't have that metabolic damage or they don't have meniscal benefits that they really need to, you know, literally have the discipline to not move one way or the other. You know, how can he make it more appropriate for someone like Rob Debore, who, you know, is a high-intensity athlete. His metabolic rate is through the roof. Is how can we get better performance using keto as a tool, using this unbelievable energy source, you know, and also growing muscle. There comes a lot of science behind that. But my point by saying this instead of rambling, because I can do that sometimes, is, you know, understand if you're confused, cheer yourself. Because anytime like you get confused, it means a breakthrough is getting ready to happen. Does that make sense? It means that there's an awareness. And so one of the things that we're wanting to do is just get a lot of information downloaded so we can also get feedback, but also we can, everything that we're doing right now is based on kind of a lean startup business model. And what that means is you go to market with a minimum viable product, or you go to market with a minimum viable platform, right? A business model. But you don't dictate what the model's going to be. What you need to do is engage your community to see where everyone's at. So then that tells you you can iterate to put the right trainings in place, to make it more simple, to put the right recipes, and make the right guidelines. Because the reality, everything that Peter said, it's his life now. He knows it inside and out. So it's kind of, so I'm even going, okay, how do I do this? How do I do this? What we're going to do is take all of this into these different 4 categories and make it very simple. So you can literally say, hey, I'm this person. Okay, I need to follow this guideline. Oh, wait, no, this is who I am. I need to follow this guideline. Or you know what, I don't want to change anything. The hell with that. Okay, that's fine. Go here, but I can guarantee you that you'll start dabbling in these other things. Does that make sense? As you get there. And so just keep in mind, so if you're sitting there and you're a little bit confused, because this is a little bit different contrast than what Maria was saying. Am I right? Yes or no?
Yeah.
But you got to understand, she's a purist. And what she is saying is 100% correct. She's not saying anything that's wrong. But either is Peter, because Peter comes from a completely different world. And, for a lot of people, both of their worlds is going to be very, very hard to follow. But the point by hearing it is to seeing where this technology can go. This technology that's inside of us. Our body was designed to operate with ketones at any one of the 4 levels. And so hopefully that created a little bit of clarity. I think so. Yeah, just talk.
Is it there?
Yes.
It is. Okay, awesome.
Okay.
My name's Lisa.
Hello,
Hi, Lisa.
Hi. And I'm a keto addict.
Okay.
I decided to do this because I wanted to lose weight, and I still want to lose weight, and I am losing weight. However, my most exciting thing was about 5 days in, I suddenly, Michael Rutherford will remember this, I'm sure. I just was walking around the house, and all of a sudden I got the keto high. Have you guys, any of you experienced the keto high?
Oh, yeah.
It just suddenly comes on. And I thought, I'm nuts. I feel like I'm on something. I mean, what's going on? And I'm a psychologist by training, so, I'm analyzing all this stuff going, what's going on with my keto and me and what's going on. So, and then I walked around a little more and I was like, I have chronically bad knees, or I had chronically bad knees. And they were so bad that I walked down the stairs this way, sideways, down the stairs, and always had to hang on to some, and I was apologizing to everyone. So, I'm sorry, you ahead, that kind of thing. And all of a sudden I realized my knees at that night absolutely did not hurt, 0 hurt. And I hadn't had that like in 5 years. I had not had okay knees. So I'm like running around, and Leo over here was like, calm down, you don't need to jump. And I hadn't jumped in 5 years. So, you can imagine my muscles and all are pretty atrophied. And I could jump so far off the, Anyway, I got so excited. I was high, and I was also, pain-free everywhere, And I'm like texting Michael, and I'm going, please, am I crazy? Should I write a testimonial? Am I just a loon? And he said, no, write one. So I did. And he said it was awesome. But I thought, this is the most amazing product, and so it's easy to share. Guys, it's really easy to share.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing.
I'm really good, thanks. Michael introduced Keto OS to me, and the day I started, I quit taking my metformin, and then about 4 weeks later, I quit taking my insulin shots. I didn't care, okay? I just didn't care about my health. When I'd gone to the doctor 8 weeks, 10 weeks ago now, my blood sugar was 263. My A1C was 10.2. I'm one of those guys, okay? So 8 weeks later, I go to my doctor, and my blood sugar is 149, and my A1C is 7.6. So I got to have breakfast this morning with Gene Washington. That was cool for me. You know, we talked about his dad, you know, what's going on with him. So this just means a lot to me now, and I really appreciate the opportunity to be a part of this. Awesome.
Thanks so much. Thanks for sharing. Big hand to you guys. So you're feeling better.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna walk you through this. So the first thing on that video said take action, right? And I mean, that goes without saying, but people ask all the time, well, what do I say to people, right? Well, number one, you start taking the product. Take action that way. And then people say, well, and I just remind them, well, what sold you? Somebody talked to you. What did they say? Did they send you whatever that is? So just keep it simple with regards to that. Simple steps. It talked about simple steps. They're different for everyone. Face-to-face, Facebook. I mean, Facebook's the most incredible thing, but it can be a bad tool if you use it incorrectly. Pull Abigail aside. She's the best. She did a training. I think it's posted to the website. It's an incredible Facebook training. Best I've seen so far. A live call versus a call recording. You know, some people like to meet in person or they invite people to a meeting. You know, we're just different in how we do things. I think what I'm trying to perfect, and I think at least until we get going corporately, I've got this concept of a 5-minute phone call, right? And the goal is to introduce somebody new to prove it. And that's hard in network marketing. It just is. Who hasn't gotten the call, hey, what are you doing? Or can we meet? And I just say, well, what is it? Well, if it's network marketing, tell me what it is. You know. But most people just want to be kind of under the radar. However, what if you just took this approach? Hey, do you have 5 minutes? Can you do me a 5-minute favor? I think you'd be hard-pressed to find someone that won't do that. And if they won't, then, you know, that's okay. They're not someone you want to spend much time with anyways, right? So I tell people, look, I've got a 5-minute, or I've got a question and a command. So the question is, hey, do you have 5 minutes? Can you do me a 5-minute favor? And then the command eventually, once we get there, is tell me 2 ways that you'd like to be better, right? I just kind of keep implementing that in. And they'll be like, well, what do you mean? I mean, physically, like, are you going to the gym or, you know, and then it just engages people. You know, it's not weird conversation, and it goes right along with what we're trying to do. So what if Monday you tried to call 3 or 4 people, message them on Facebook, hey, do you have 5 minutes? Whatever that case may be. You will shock yourself at how many people will give you 5 minutes. Our goal then is to deliver in 5 minutes something compelling enough to keep them for 15, 20, 30 minutes. So we started this call, and it's not just going to be me. We're going to start building it. But it's a call that goes something like this. Hey, we know somebody invited you tonight. That's kind of weird. Like, I just always like to put myself in the place of that person. You know, we understand it's kind of weird. You've probably been invited to calls, but bear with us, because in the next 4 to 5 minutes max, you will know if you want to hang on and hear more or just hang up. And we're fine either way. We appreciate you dialing in. And then we deliver the basics. What this is, what it isn't. And when you start talking about the idea of a 4th macronutrient, people are just interested in that. Most people don't even know what a macronutrient is, and then you kind of make them feel smart and you say, you know them, you know, carbs, fat, protein, right? This company claims they've got a 4th one. Give me 5 minutes. They think they can prove it to you. So it's just something real simple. And then after the 5-minute mark, we honestly will talk more about it, and then, or dismiss them. So we want you to feel super confident and comfortable that this is not going to be a 5-minute call that lasts 9 minutes like it was last week, right? Or a 5-minute call that lasts. So I've nailed it. Like, it's going to be really, really good. And I just want you to prove to yourself Monday, tomorrow, Sunday or Monday, how this works. You know, again, whether it's Facebook or face-to-face or whatever, I think it'll deliver, and it'll be very powerful. But keep in mind, Bryon, the corporate team, I mean, if you saw our website, I mean, it's beautiful. It looks like Apple. I mean, everything's just so clean and non-threatening. But we'll have those systems in place, from banners to business cards to, you know, whatever it is that you want.
That are
focused in on keto alone, but how it absolutely applies to everybody out there.
Yeah, look, I think we may be misunderstanding ketones a little, and we have a golden egg called Keto OS, and with Keto OS, it enables us to be able to have some carbs for some muscle growth post-workout and still get into ketosis really quick. That's fat burning mode, really quick, burning beta hydroxybutyrate really quick, very soon after your workout. So I think that's the ticket for growth in muscle gain. Low carb people, 200 grams and under, could be working on Keto OS. I have blood readings of 150 grams of carbs and burning 1.8 millimolar very soon after. So I think Keto OS has broken down keto for us.
It really has, and we have to understand that we have the ability, our bodies have the ability to use dual fuel sources, and that's something that when you understand how to tap into both, your body's a hybrid, and the results can be absolutely, what do we call them, superhuman, if you will, right? So it's rocket. We didn't hear it, but there was a jet that... I would just simply say this: the reason why we've grown as fast as we've grown is continue to lead with the product and the results. Don't let don't let today confuse you. Sometimes I used to come out of these and I'm like, do I have to know all that, or do I have to find Michael or Abigail? Do I need these people up here for me to become successful? You don't. That's why we have a product that delivers 100% of the results, 100% of the time. And if you will continue to lead with that, all these incredible things that Bryon shared are just a byproduct of you simply doing that. Tell your compelling story, share others' compelling stories, and just continue to watch this thing go and grow.
Thank you guys very much.
Dude, check this out. Been working on this all night. We got a nice rig to flow to iPhone. We're gonna have a beauty dish for some quality light. We got the 5D Mark II set up, connected to a shotgun mic, so we're gonna have some good quality audio. Oh, look at this. You talk about video editing, next level. The real deal, Keto King right here. We also have a 1 terabyte, a 250 gig, a 2 terabyte, a 500 gig. Everything was full, so I just went out and bought the 2 terabyte today. We're gonna be shooting a bunch of video for the ketogenic cookbook. I just got the Steadicam. Check this beast out. So we'll be shooting all kinds of cool videos with the Steadicam, running around doing some crazy stuff. Why are we shooting all these videos? Because I got a website. We're selling stuff on the website, so we're promoting it. SupplementKetosis.com. This is all where it starts, right here. We got product, tools to use it. We got customers. We got cash flow. Product, cash flow, customers, online store, online website, supplementketosis.com. If you want to know more, go to ketocall.com and then go right to supplementketosis.com and order some product. Easy as that. Keto. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for ordering from our online website to get keto samples. We're going to be sending this out with 2 pea strips. This is what you do first thing in the morning. Pee on the first strip, take this in a shaker cup. Hour later, pee on the second ketone strip. Go to ketocall123.com and it explains exactly what it is. Ketocall123.com, and then go to supplementketosis.com, and then you'll be set up. All right, thanks for watching, guys.